I feel like some days I have a good idea of the direction that I want my life to go in, and then I wake up the day after and I feel like I want to go in a completely different direction. Can anyone else relate to this, or is it just me?
What is going on, guys? Welcome to the vlog. Today we are going to talk about the title of the video, but first I have a few things I need to do. I'm going to go to a coffee shop to work for a bit, and I also need to go to the bank. But yeah, we're going to talk about a few deeper topics, so stay tuned and let's get on with the day. So I don't actually know if you can hear me because it's quite a busy area, I guess. But I want to talk about the title of this video, and that is that as a 26-year-old, I now find myself in this weird classification of my mid to late 20s, and I wake up every day and I think I have a good idea of the direction that I want to go in, and then I wake up the next day and things seem completely different, like I want to change. I don't know if anyone else can kind of relate to this, but if you do, let me know down in the comments. But on one hand, I appreciate that I'm 26 and I'm quite young, and if I want to do certain carefree things and have certain experiences like travel and stuff, then now is probably a great time to do those things because I don't have as much responsibility, etc. However, the other half of me is kind of looking for security as well, so it's a very strange time, and I just feel like some days I'm completely lost. Some days I wake up and I think I'm in the right career, and then other days I wake up and I feel like I want to go in a completely different direction. And I feel like this is probably normal for not just being in your 20s but any age. The older I get, the more I realise that no one has it worked out completely. I think COVID has definitely made me realise that I want to travel more and more, because not being able to travel and being so restricted has definitely, I think, had an impact on all of us. So yeah, I'm torn and I don't know the answers. I'm not pretending to. But there is one thing I think which helps, and I'm going to talk about that when I get back to the flat because I need some lunch. I'm absolutely starving. Let's go. So we're back from lunch, we're back from our little conversation earlier, and now I'm going to talk to you further about what I'm doing to kind of navigate this feeling of feeling lost, feeling aimless, feeling like one day you wake up and you want to go in one direction and the next day you wake up and you want to go in a completely different direction. Being 26, and I've found that this is the point in my life where I'm noticing friends, family, everyone around me is starting to go off in their own directions. I think it's very easy for other people's timelines to start to creep into your head, and for other people's opinions to start to have a little bit more of an impact on you. You know, you start to think, oh, well, maybe should I be doing that, or should I be thinking about that as well? I think the ultimate thing you have to do is just listen to what you want to do. I think if you end up trying to appease other people by doing what they suggest, this is a surefire way to end up resenting them in the future. And it's also a sure way to live with regret in the future. And this brings me on to, I guess, the main thing that scares me, and that is regret. Seeing regret in someone's eyes, that is real. There's certain things that you just won't be able to do if you don't do them when you're younger. And there's nothing worse than seeing regret in an 80-year-old or a 90-year-old's eyes and them saying, oh, do you know what? I wish I did that. That is the thing which scares me the most, is being that age and just wishing that I did so many different things. So when I find myself in these situations like I have over the last couple of months, torn between wanting to travel or wanting to buy a house or wanting to go in this direction of my career or wanting to go in that direction, I started applying something called the regret minimization framework. The regret minimization framework was coined, or at least made famous, by Jeff Bezos, the guy who founded and the former CEO of that small company called Amazon. I don't know if you've heard of it, they're quite big. Maybe you haven't heard of them. The regret minimization framework, or RMF as I'm now going to refer to it, all starts with asking yourself one simple question. Will I regret not doing this thing when I am 80 years old? I absolutely love this mental model because it forces you to think about your future self in 30, 40, 50 years time and ask yourself, will I regret not doing this thing? And obviously you have no way of knowing, but it forces you to put yourself in that situation and think, right, am I going to look back and wonder what if I don't do this? Take for me with this incredibly small YouTube channel that I started 3 or 4 months ago. I've been watching YouTube now for over 10 years, and over the last 10 years, I've watched people grow and develop, and I finally got to a stage where I thought I could contribute something to the platform. I toyed with this idea for months, and I started to question, oh well, what if no one watches me? What if people say, oh, Jack, that's a bit weird. Like, why are you filming yourself and putting it on YouTube? I had this large list of excuses, like it was going to take me ages to learn how to edit, learning how to talk to a camera and set up a camera, all of these things that were preventing me from doing it. But on the other side was this part of me that was excited. It made me think, oh, but what if someone did watch my video? So at this crossroads, I asked myself, Jack, when you're 80 years old, will you regret not starting that YouTube channel? The answer was a resounding yes. I have absolutely no idea what will come from this YouTube channel. However, what I do know is that at 80 or 90 years old, I didn't want to look back and think, I wonder what would have happened. Because even though the likelihood is nothing will happen from starting a YouTube channel, the risk of not doing it is too much of a risk for me. That thought of wondering, ooh, what could have happened, or what if? And I've worked out that that's what gets me, is that regret and that wondering. I don't want to wonder, I want to know. I want to know the outcome of the decision. The issue with doing this and putting yourself in the future and asking future Jack at 80 or 90 years old, will you regret doing that, is that the path of least regret in the future often requires you to be very brave in the present. It takes some guts to do that thing that you know you really want to do, but you're worried about what other people think. But surely it's better to be brave now in the present and have an uncomfortable couple of weeks than wake up at 80 or 90 years old and wonder what if. At least that's what I'm telling myself anyway. Be brave, take care, and I'll see you all very soon. Cheers.